All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, in 8+ seasons as the head football coach at Penn State, the Nittany Lions and James Franklin, they're 73 and 36. And James Franklin's record within the Big Ten is 45 and 30. But Franklin, he's led Penn State to one Big Ten championship, which resulted in a trip to the Rose Bowl. But that was back in 2016. And I'm saying it was back in 2016 because that is a very distant memory for the folks in Happy Valley. Now, since Franklin came to Penn State, the Nittany Lions are just 4 and 14 against Michigan and Ohio State combined. And these are the two Big Ten juggernauts. These are the two teams that are consistently ahead of Penn State in the Big Ten East. And if Penn State wants to talk about winning the Big Ten again, they're going to have to find a way to get ahead of both Michigan and Ohio State. Penn State, for the most part, they've not been able to hang with these two teams, and because of that, the folks that are in Happy Valley need not make any plans as far as booking a trip to Indianapolis for the first Saturday in December for the Big Ten championship game. And if you can't win the Big Ten, don't even think about getting to the college football playoff either. Now, you think about it, Penn State has always been able to get recruits, regardless of who the head coach is. As the state of Pennsylvania, and of course, Western Pennsylvania, is consistently producing quality high school football players. Uh, Penn State being the national brand that it is, they've also been able to get quality players from the East Coast as a whole as well. But Franklin, during his time at Penn State, has been unable to get those game changing playmakers at the most important position on the field, which is the quarterback position. And in my opinion, Franklin is relying too much on his system, as you need playmakers, especially at the quarterback position, if you're going to take that next step as a program. Now, barring a setback, Penn State will more than likely finish ranked this year for the first time since 2019. But the cloud of being unable to get it done against Michigan and Ohio State is going to continue to hang over this program. You look at the two games this year. Michigan at in Ann Arbor a couple of weeks ago blew out Penn State by the score of 41-17. And honestly, you can make the case that the final score wasn't indicative of how much of a blowout that game was. We saw Penn State, keep it close with Ohio State for the most part today. A lot of miscues by Penn State, three interceptions by quarterback Sean Clifford, of course, the missed field goals. But then on top of that, we just saw Ohio State turn it up a notch on both sides of the football in the fourth quarter. And this is why the Buckeyes are going to once again be in contention to win the Big Ten. And more importantly, they're going to be right there in the mix for one of those four berths in the college football playoff. And honestly, the way that Penn State is constructed right now, in order for them to go out there and beat a Michigan or beat an Ohio State, they basically have to go out there and pitch a perfect game in order for it to happen. Meaning, whomever the quarterback is, he has to be flawless. He has to play the best game of his life. Defensively, you've got to go out there and force a couple of turnovers, and you got to consistently take care of your business. And the way that Penn State is constructed right now, they have talent at the wide receiver position, at the running back position. They have talent on defense, but until they get that guy at quarterback, they're always going to be a tier under Michigan and Ohio State in the Big Ten. Now, don't get me wrong. I am in no way, shape, or form lobbying for James Franklin to lose his job. I think he's a solid coach. And of course, he just got that 10-year extension last year. But at the end of the day, you got to find a way to win these big games. That is what's going to define your career. And right now, Penn State under Franklin is not going to get it. They're not getting it done. For me, in my opinion, I just think that the recruiting aspect needs to change in Happy Valley. You have to go out there and do whatever it takes to get those playmakers at the quarterback position if you're James Franklin, because obviously you're good enough to beat everybody else in the Big Ten. We saw Penn State go on the road earlier this season and dominate Auburn of the SEC. And I know that Auburn has had their ups and downs this year, but still going on the road in front of 100,000 in an SEC stadium and just doing whatever you want to do on both sides of the ball. That's a tremendous nod to James Franklin and his program. But again, they're going to keep coming up short against Michigan and Ohio State if they don't change things as far as getting that dynamic guy at the quarterback position and getting some more dynamic guys at the skill positions as well. So at the end of the day, you look at it, Penn State's going to continue to be a quality football program. They're consistently going to find a way to win 9 or 10 games. But right now, they're in that mode of they're in that yeah, but scenario. Penn State's good, but they can't beat Michigan and Ohio State. Penn State's good, but they can't find a way to win the Big Ten. Penn State's good, but they can't find a way to make the college football playoff. And until they fix things at the most important position on the football field, this problem of being unable to get it done against the Michigans and Ohio States of the world will continue to plague the folks in Happy Valley. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.